Hey everybody. Am I live? Okay, say I'm live. Sorry, y'all. I'm still getting used to the liveness of the videos. So, hey everybody. As you can see, the title of this video is called just like the cuts of life. And I want to start off with my haircut. I think it looked much better in person, but maybe not. I don't know. But I cut my hair like a little over a month ago. And when I cut it, it grew out much more than it was really really short, like I can barely even grip it. But when I cut my hair, a lot of people was asking me like, why did I cut my hair? It was beautiful and all this jazz. And so I just decided to do a video on why I cut my hair. So for me, it was symbolic. Not only did I just want the fresh start and just wanted to just try something new, but I cut my hair because for me it symbolizes that first I was feeling new on the inside and I looked the same on the outside, and so I wanted something to reflect the change that was going on within me. But then I decided to furthermore cut it because for me it symbolizes that as I cut off the dead ends of my hair, I also cut off a lot of dead relationships in my life. And what do I mean by that? Um, just that. I let go a lot of people that I felt like was not doing me, like our relationship just didn't grow, or it just felt like the relationship was being more detrimental to me than it was for me, just like overall. And so I just decided to let a lot of people just, I don't want to say a lot of people, but I did. I let people go. And I mean, that was friends, families, just a lot of people. I'm just like, you know what? This is not going in the direction that it should be. Or, if I would, if I felt like I was in a relationship with a person, whether it's a friend, family, whatever, if I felt like I was in a relationship with you, but I still had to guard everything that I had to say, or I just felt like we weren't being authentic, fully authentic with one another. Like if you're my best buddy and I feel like I'm having to hold back a part of me when I speak to you and I feel like you're doing the same, then something ain't quite right. And so, I just believe that for me, my haircut was very necessary for me, not just because I wanted to change, but because it symbolizes something greater for me. And I just want to talk about how it's very important. This is on the same lines of it, but a bit different. But that is very important for you not to allow people to define who you are. Like, I truly believe that I'm nothing outside of what God called me to be. So therefore, I don't allow people to tell me this is who you are and just leave it there. Like if it's not lining up with what God says about me, then I'm done. And one of the scriptures that I was dwelling on this week was Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5. When God is speaking to Jeremiah, he's calling Jeremiah out, and this is what God spoke to Jeremiah. And beginning with verse 5, I'm only actually going to just read verse 5. It says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you were born, I consecrated you. I have appointed you the prophet of the nations. And for me, what that means is before I was even brought forth on this earth, God, he was already connected with me and had already decided that I'm gonna set this chick apart to do whatever it is that I called her to do. And I think that so often we allow people to define who we are and what we can do when it goes aside of what God has already called us to do. And so I really believe that you cannot tell people how to treat you, but you can observe the way that they treat other people and decide whether or not you want to be a part of it. And so I really believe that people do only do what you allow them to do. So if you stay in a relationship, no matter what level this relationship is on, whether it's with your insignificant other, is with a family member, is with, a friend, whatever. If you allow yourself to stay in a relationship being treated the way that you don't want to be treated, then that tells people that it's okay to treat you like that if you're not doing anything to separate yourself from, to address the situation, whatever it is. You have to allow God to define who you are and then walk into that. And I'm not saying that this is something that I walked around with my entire life. I'm, like I said in my last video, I'm 33 and I'm just starting to get things right. And so it's like, I worked hard on who I am. I worked hard to be the woman that I am today. I'm not a perfect woman by far, but I know that I've come very far from being who I used to be. So I refuse to allow somebody to tell me this is what you deserve. This is how I'm gonna treat you. And you have to stay with it. Who you think you're talking to, boo boo? I promise you. I like to call it the deuces ministry. I would chuck the deuces up at somebody in a second, and it comes off as if I'm being mean, as if I'm being, just as aggressive with my separation, but that's not the case. It's just like I just know who I am in God, and I refuse to allow people to treat me any type of way, just like period. Yeah. And so I just wanted to come on here and say that, like, you have to know who you are, fight to understand who you are, and then just fight to to remain in that. Like, it's like, I promise you, it is a struggle. I'm not saying that I walk around strong all day long, y'all, but I ain't playing with people. Like, I don't know another way of saying it. I'm just not gonna play with people. And so I just pray to God that you're walking in your fullness, and that if something is not sitting right with your spirit, that he gives you the courage to acknowledge it. You've already been equipped with everything that you need to address everything that you're faced with. And so don't feel like your problems is greater than you, or or the relationship is greater than what you can actually deal with. No, that's not the case. And so, yeah, y'all, I just wanted to come on here and let you know that greater is he that is in you than he that is in this world. That you don't have to accept the way that people treat you. If you don't like it, you have a right to speak up for not liking it. You have a right to walk away from anything that's hurting you. You have the right to just stand up and use your voice to advocate for yourself. And I'm really big on advocacy. Like, I'm really big on just like people just not bullying. Like, I hate bullying with a passion. And I just, yeah. So yeah, y'all, come on. Come on, and just don't let these people do whatever they want to y'all. Like, you're so much greater than you think you are. You are an amazing person. I don't know you personally, but I know that God is intentional with his creations. We are his creations. I believe that we are made in the image of God, and I don't believe that he would just put more on us than we can bear. So, if I'm not saying that every relationship that make you feel this way, you need to be done away with. Sometimes it just means that you need to just stand up to the person and say whatever is on your mind, and just to clear the air and to start off fresh. Do whatever it is God is putting on your heart to do. But as for me and my life, I have willingly, applied the Deuces ministry, y'all. Like, I just refuse to allow people to define who I am and how I deserve to be treated. And I just pray that the same thing is upon your life. That you could just, that you could just walk in your fullness. I'm praying for y'all continuously. I love you dearly. And yeah, that's it. Bye, y'all.